Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello and a very warm good evening from the UK. My name is Dr. Madalenechan and I will be with you as well as our guest for USA Global TV and Radio for the film and music show. Okay, for today we have a I'm so happy to be able to share with you our guest for the film and music show. He is live from Texas, broadcasting. He is a novelist and a screenplay writer. He also has his partner, Rox Burkey, but she can't attend today because she's a little bit under the weather. So Charles Breakfield is in the studios today, and he's going to be talking about Out of Poland, which is a new screenplay. He's going to talk about his Enigma series, on behalf of Rox Burkey as well, of course. And we are going to be discussing how do we take a novel to film, to screenplay. Very excited, very in every way. So can we please bring on the wonderful Charles Breakfield?
Wow, what a spectacular introduction that was, Madeline. I could listen to that for a couple more minutes anyway. But again, thank you for that introduction.
You're very welcome, and I really do feel that our viewers will be very excited to be able to hear about your journey, your experience as a novelist, a screenplay writer, and having an Enigma series, a thriller book series. So can you tell our viewers, Charles, in let's say 2 to 3 minutes, who you are and what the Enigma series is, and then we'll carry on.
Okay. So Charles Breakfield. I co-author a series of books with my partner from many years of association together. We created the Enigma book series, the first 12, and we kept it at that, and then went on to some other things. But the Enigma series is the basically the cyber good guys versus the cyber bad guys in today's world. So it's very relevant. We examine a lot of technical threats and then how people deal with them, because the bad guys are always ahead of the good guys. About halfway through the series, somebody said, "Well, this is all swell stuff, but where did your group of good guys come from? This our group? They seem to be all over the place, and they're plugged in with a lot of people. And where'd they get their start?" And so we put together the prequel to the books. Out of Poland is basically the Poland. Three Polish patriots band together. Germany has overrun the country in 30 days, and it's frustrating for them to be able to see this going on. So they decide to hit back by stealing one of Germany's most prized possessions, the Enigma machine. And so that's where we get the start. And of course, they get it to the Allies, but they also make a copy for themselves, which helps, and they learn how encryption works, and they launch themselves into their own informational dynasty. We had so much fun with that. Somebody said, this would make a great movie. And then from there, it was let's learn how to be able to do that. It was a learning experience, and it was. You mentioned it was like a brand new, and I don't want to leave you with the wrong impression. Nobody writes a screenplay and has it hit a home run right off the bat. This has gone through several iterations. It's been in several competitions. It's always in the top 20% range. We got an award for best liked from Page Turner folks out of the UK, and it was very gratifying. But we keep getting this feedback that says, kid, you need a little more polish here and there. Develop this. Let's see a little more about these characters. And so there's always something else to do to make it better.
Thank you. I was going to say, Charles, Out of Poland, whereabouts is it set? In what time zone? In what year?
1939. So this is when the Germans overrun Poland in that September 1st time frame. So it's historical fiction. We baked a lot of technical facts into it. I'm something of a student of World War II, so I was very interested to make sure that it mapped correctly to the time frames, the troop movements, and some of the technology at that time that was being used. So it's the characters that are a little bit on the fictional side, but all very much characteristic of the patriots that would be fighting for their lives at that point in time.
And the plot of Out of Poland, does it have a little bit of thriller, romance, clever planning strategy?
Oh, yes, and it's a lot of suspense, and there's a lot of, because these Germany's got three huge army groups that they've launched against Poland, and the country is collapsing, and people are running scared, trying to leave before the Germans overrun everything. So the background, all of the activity is around them grabbing, against all odds, stealing something that's under heavy guard, trying to get out of Gdansk with it to get back to Warsaw, meet with their one of the gentlemen's father, who's the ambassador. He knows that they're beaten, and he's the one that said, "You need to go do this. And here are two roadsters. Get out. Head southeast towards Romania, Hungary." Countries that have not been invaded yet. Czechoslovakia, you can't go through that, so you're going to have to go a long way to get to Switzerland. And so it's the ongoing trial of trying to get out, and then friends, Polish patriots that help them for no good reason other than they're Polish patriots, and so it takes that edge off of the away from the German general that is obsessed with its return and their execution, and so the whole plot revolves around them running, dodging, losing some of their team, and finally getting to the point where it's the culmination where they got to break through a blockade of Germans to be able to reach freedom. And so how they do that is the secret sauce for the story. Yes, there's a very positive female interest in it. She's part of the team trying to help them get out. We don't delve that much on that's all sublimated from the attractions that are held. One's because one of the men is her brother, and he's not real anxious to lose his sister just quite yet, not under these circumstances. So that's the way that the book builds until it they hit the final area where it's like, are they going to make it or not?
Oh my gosh, the cliffhanger question, are they going to make it or not? Love it.
Yes.
Charles, you said it's part of the Enigma series. Is it, for example, you got Lord of the Rings, which is a trilogy. How many books are in the collection of the Enigma series? And is the Enigma series called Out of Poland?
Yeah, the Enigma series, we've got 12 books in that series. As I said, the beginning, or the sort of the prequel that was written after, right around about book 10 when we postulated the Out of Poland story, and it's available as a novella. The transition, I'll just go ahead and tell you. I mean, it's, if anybody says screenplay writing is easy to do, they're mistaken. It is a completely a discipline by itself that we cannot claim to be, experienced playwrights that will be able to do screenplays on anything. It's we're a whole lot slower at it because it's like, okay, well, how do we deal with this point of view and how do we, because as a novelist, you're always putting in dialogue and screen descriptions and stuff like that of what's going on. Screenplay is the concept is always less is more. So the point of view, the camera, you might get something that take us half a page or maybe a full page in a novel to describe, and it would be just panned across from a camera angle in less than 4 seconds. So the transition between the two of them is definitely an interesting exercise for us, and it was a fun discipline to learn and to know something about. But we've had a couple people say, you're probably better writers than your screenplay writers, and I said, yeah, okay, I'm not going to argue that point with you because but it's we wanted to try. We wanted to see what's possible, and that's always that's the theme from all the books. What's possible? How do you get from being the underdog against the bad guys to winning? And those are stories that are compelling, and that's we're storytellers.
And then can I ask you another question, Charles? Actually,
Sure.
Addressed to yourself and Roxy. I know she's not here, but Rox. If you can explain to me the way that you took your novel, so it's Out of Poland, to make it into a screenplay. Did you have any idea at that time? Did you do any research to turn your book into a screenplay? Or was it just a case of, let's just do it and let's just, learn by trial?
There is no shortage of experience and tutors. Uh, Many of them are like, so we track on all of the screenplay competitions. We track on people that comment and show up. Um, there are software tools that will help you generate at least a rudimentary approach to the screenplay. But the secret sauce, always going to come back to the novel. The novel and the writer. I mean, there's certain rules that screenplay, you got to do it this way. And software tools like Final Draft, probably one of the best tools that I've come across for doing exactly that. Because we've been in several competitions that said, if you don't have this done in Final Draft format, PDF,
Right.
don't waste your money.
So today, a lot of people are using the tool of AI. And a friend of mine actually, can write a book. Says, "Oh, I wrote about 3 books tonight, like in about half an hour." And I honestly, Charles, I just love the creative genius that is not from a computer or an AI, but that is coming from genius, from the heart, from the source. Which you and Rox, how did you prepare? How did you have the inspiration to write about the Enigma series set in was it World War II?
Well, I mean, a lot of Poland is set in World War II. The
Yeah,
Enigma series is in
yeah.
present day. So,
That's
yeah, they're the
great.
third generation. Yeah, so the first generation is where Out of Poland begins, and then as people have children, they bring them into the business, and they hand off the moral high ground thinking that they learned the hard way against the tyranny. And so they're very much oriented in that direction of being able to fight for the right and just cause and bring justice. Now, to your question about using AI, we're in violent agreement with you. It's not. There's no honor. I'll just be honest with you. There's no honor in telling here. Give me an idea, and would you go ahead and script it for me, and let me put my name at the bottom. That's. I'm sorry. We don't subscribe to that. We simply do not. What we do, though, is that we'll use our patent pending literary technique of literary ping pong, and we'll take and craft a spreadsheet of chapter possibilities, and then take chapters and then write them. Us write them.
Yes.
No AI prompting. It's the idea creation and the wordsmithing and the story building and the characters are us, and then we bat it back and forth until we get that polish to the story and the characters that is we believe is okay. This is what we want people to be able to see. I don't have room in my thinking for having somebody write something for me and have my name put to it. That's cheating. I just no. I mean, I know you can do it. I know you can do it. That's just not for us. We're not those people.
But you can also tell when it's being AI because there's no feeling, there's no heart into it. It's quite cold.
Yeah. Well, I guess what's really depressing is to see that there are actually tools to be able to grade whether or not it's AI driven. And then I saw somebody else who had a tool to be able to fix the AI stuff so it wouldn't get caught when you put it in the screening tool. I'm like, what's wrong with this picture, guys? I mean, just if you can't write, okay, I get it. If you can write, why don't you? It's just that simple.
I mean, generally, if, for example, for schools and exams, a lot of students were passing great grades through using AI, but the the system picked it up that they were using AI. However, there are strategies now that they've come through, just change it into 2 or 3 different languages and take it back into that English language. And apparently they can't pick up the AI, which is very sad. It means that we've become a very lazy nation, really.
Yeah, it's really odd. I actually had this lesson taught to me when I was in high school. I had a Marine sergeant. I guess he was a gunnery sergeant. He had been discharged for an injury he had received, but he knew algebra perfectly. But he was such a perfectionist at it, we couldn't use the formulas until we'd actually prove the formulas. We actually had to do that. I probably learned more algebra from that guy and remembered it longer than anything else that I've ever taken. So, fast forward to today, and we actually have a story like this in one of the books where Dr. Quip has programmed his AI enhanced supercomputer, and he's got 2 of his students. They're like 9 and 10 or 9 and 12, and 2 of them that are like 15 and 16. And he says, "Okay, who did the homework?" And like just the 2 young ones did. They said, "We got the homework done." "Oh, okay. What about you other guys?" "What's the point? I just have a computer do it." "Oh, okay. Well, let me go ahead and have a contest. I'm going to put up a problem on the screen, and everybody needs to solve it. Let's see who does it faster." And of course, the 2 older ones are cracking up, saying, "This is stupid. We're up against the computer who can do this in nanoseconds." And but the 2 young ones, they're scrolling like crazy, using the stuff they learned from homework, and they put their answers up, and they're different than what the computer puts up. The guys in the back are laughing and cracking up. And Dr. Quip says, "Okay, which answer is right?" And they go, "What do you mean which one's right? It's the computer's right." He goes, No, I had the computer put up the wrong answer to prove you a point. The point is, if you can't verify the mathematics, the logic, the answers for yourself, then you are sentenced to take whatever is handed to you as an answer from a computer, even if it's wrong."
Oh my gosh. That's amazing. That's fabulous. That should be done today.
Yeah.
There should be. But Charles, let's now go into a time machine. Let's go back to how were you inspired to be a writer, a book writer, a novelist?
Well, it's interesting. I've been in the high-tech world for a couple of decades, and one of the things that I was doing was professional services. That's where they take you and send you into an account that is hopelessly messed up. Figure out what's wrong. Write it up as to how to fix it. Here's what we found. Here's how you fix it, and here's where you can get fixes done for you, or we can contract with us or whatever. And so the white paper was always the deliverable that we had to hand over to the customer. You do that for a couple of years, and you get pretty good at writing up technical analysis and solutions. And then that's where I met Rox Berkey, and she was helping. She was doing the same thing too. And so we would sometimes team up on some of these large companies and go solve their problems. When I say that, it's euphemistically what it was we'd be parachuted in and held hostage until we got it solved. So, but one day she pops up and says, "You know what? Our box said that they'd pay to have us write some white papers for them, and maybe even a couple of books." So we did for a while. There's nothing nothing less satisfying than writing a technical manual that's out of date as soon as you get it to press. So I got a little bit miffed, as they say in the UK, and I stomped off and said, "I don't want to do this anymore. Thank you very much." And a couple months later, Rox, being the near genius, emotionally superior to moi, came to me and said, "I've got an idea. Just so you know, this is probably the four most terrifying words in her vocabulary." Um, and she threw this fictional thriller at me using real technical stuff in background. Identity Theft was the first book we wrote, and it was very compelling. And I said, but I wasn't quite sure. And she goes, "Okay, all right." She gave me the closing argument. "Charles, we can kill people and not go to jail. Okay." So that's. There's been a lot of characters that not make it out of the books alive. I have to be honest. It's very gratifying, actually. And I don't have any jail time to speak of, and the parole people said, "No, you're free to go." So right now, that's how we got started, and one book led to another, and because there's always this conveyor belt of horrible ideas that the dark net comes up with for good technology that nobody expected to have it morphed into something that was so horrible. Ransomware. There's genetic engineering to be able to live forever, in the hands of the wrong people. I mean, we've got some great stories. They're all just a little bit, quite a bit different, but they're all different technical threats that come at our good guys, and they've got to solve them.
So, Charles, in saying this, and thank you for sharing that, shall we have a look at your website, yours and Rox's website, Enigma series, so that people can see, our viewers will see the series we have on the show. So Heather, our producer today, yes, it's coming through. There you go. Yeah. Goodness me, there's quite a collection there. You said 12, wasn't it? How fantastic.
Well, that's just the first 12. Then I've got the secondary trilogy. That's got. We're working on the third book on that one. We've got 2 of those. That's the fourth generation of the R group, and then we got invited to write in a writers group for the Magnolia Bluff series, the Crime Chronicle series, and those are all cozy mysteries. And so we've got 3 books in that series, and then. The Enigma Force that's coming right across now. We just got the Audible award for that, and also a best pick on the paperback version. So
I was going to say, sorry.
I was going to alert you that you see across the top we got paperbacks, audiobooks, ebooks, short stories, book trailers. We to your point, and the reason we were really interested in your show and being able to attend was we're all about all the different medias that people can enjoy the stories, whether it's Audible or it's an ebook or a paperback.
It is amazing. The branding is, you've really thought about, both you have, about brand awareness, and I love the fact that for each book, you've got the enigma, all the same branding, same font and everything. Mm-hmm. And I really do love the dream. I think that book cover is just beautiful.
Our editor came in and said, "This book is beautiful. Thank you."
It really is. It's stunning.
Yeah, but that's a combination of a story, the dream, and the graphics to go along with it, coloring at the back end of it. But it's the kind of book we got interested in building it. It's the kind of book that if I was reading to the kids, still they're too old for that, but I would love to have been able to read this story to them because it has life lessons. It's got the main theme, if you would. It comes down to, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go farther, go with a team of like-minded people. And that's the that's where the
Very
dream
wise.
gets. It teaches uh, people to think and follow your dream. Sometimes there there's some difficulties. You're going to stub your toe. You're going to have trouble. But um, it's all about Destiny. That's her name, and her brother Valerian.
Yeah. Is it set in the future or present time?
It's we don't really say. Basically, it's you could look at it from a something out of the past, and yet there's part of it that doesn't fit that. So there's some, I guess the polite way of saying there's some contradictions in in it being in one place. There's no time to mention jumping, but at the same time there's mythical creatures. There is a storytelling going on that only Destiny can understand. Some of the other characters speaking, and her brother can't, and that's frustrating. And so there's that. How are you doing that? And she's like, "You mean you can't?"
So, Charles, going back to you were saying about you and Rox,
Mhm.
you are playing all these characters. It's almost that. Do you decide which characters you want to play, or do you go, I want to play this one? No, I want to play this, or do you throw it in the middle and with the storyboard and just say which character do you want to play, or which one do you resonate with?
Well, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, there's some characters that she's going to be more adept at writing for. And case in point, I mean, I'll write some dialogue for a female, and I'll get this terse a call from her house saying, "Charles, no female on the planet would ever say that." So
You gotta meet
so
her.
and that works the other way too. I mean, I think no, no male in the planet would ever do it that way. I'm sorry, I just you'd have to take my word for it. So we do have that push and pull, but that it's kind of fun. Sometimes it's we do get into philosophical discussions as to what's the right way to be able to take this. And say, well, what does the character say? And sometimes, or many times, I should say, the character is the one saying, I need to go in this direction. And the story will help, it kind of helps tell you wherever they need to go. And so those are sort of the aha moments in literature and writing that makes it a fascinating journey, because we never hardly know how the ending is going to be until we arrive at that destination, because that's the way life is too.
And with your characterization, the different characters, let's say you have this character and it continues to the next book, the next series. When do you know? Do you both know, almost like telepathically or synchronicity, that hang on, he or she's got to go?
Well, let's be fair. They all change. They all morph. They're not the same character in book one that they're now in book 12, or in the Cozy Mystery series. They do change. People grow. People change. Sometimes they change for the good. Sometimes they don't. And how they react, and that's sort of the dichotomy going on. You got the story going along, and well, back in book one they would do it this way. Yeah, but they're older now. They're more seasoned. They've got new thoughts and more experience, and they're not in such a big hurry to be able to make a rash decision, because they've learned and they've digested more of life. And so that's where you get some of that. They're not the same. And a couple of the characters we built, you'll enjoy this. We actually had somebody that we worked with many years ago, and she got to be a fan of our stuff. And one time I got this note from her, because we had this character, Zara, show up in book 4, and she's opportunistic, almost vicious, but not quite, but always about it's out for her. Well, she really drilled us because what a detestable character. How could you let her get away? And in book 5, by book 6, she shows back up, and by book 8, I get a note back from her saying she's redeemable. I didn't know that. I didn't know that's how you were going to do that. And thank you for not letting her get whacked. It's like, now it's. What's funny is she never picked up on it, but the character was actually based on her. She was a tall lady, extremely attractive, smart. Golly, I learned a lot from that woman. But those are the kind of people that cross your path and they leave that mark in the somewhere in your psyche, and before you know it, it's spilled out in pages, and you can easily just pick off the details. Okay, that's Sarah. Yeah, okay, there she is. And so it gets to be you see a lot of that, and of course, some people have said, aren't you in some of those characters? Yeah, we are. The good ones, and well, harumph of the bad ones too. So fine.
Oh, Charles, I could talk to you all night. I really could. I find you so interesting, and the way the storytelling and your characterizations, and really so hugely enjoyable. And you must come back definitely and bring rocks as well. And
I
we
will
must
assure
carry
you
on
that.
part
Yeah.
2, most definitely. But
Yeah.
before we go, Charles, can you share with our viewers how they can find you, where they can, and where they can find you? That's if, of course, you want them to find you, and just how they can ask questions and have more into the Enigma series.
Yeah, certainly. So we post a lot of the audio snippets that we create in some of the videos that we've been building in YouTube, and you can find our channel on youtube.com at Enigma Series, where we have our website, enigmaseries.com. There you can go and sign up for our email letter. There's some free stuff. You commented on the dream. I've got all of the coloring pages and the word puzzles from the dream as a free download off of our website. Just give me your email address, and you can download any one of the free goodies we have out there. You want to contact us via email, authors@enigmaseries.com. We're also on Facebook, the Enigma Series, and for anybody that's interested in Instagram, also at Enigma Book Series, and that'll get you into our universe, and you can see all the neat stuff we're coming out with. And we've got the third book in the trilogy of the Enigma Heirs. We should be out first quarter, April timeframe ish is where we're at. And then I got another cozy mystery coming up at the end of August of next year. So as the phrase goes, rust never sleeps. And so we're the same way about writing.
Fantastic. And my final question I want to ask to share with your viewers, out of all the 12 books, all the different titles of the Enigma series, which one do you feel is ready for the big screen? Because I just get this feeling the dream would be just amazing, and out of Poland, because at the moment the trend is going back to historical movies, ancient of ancient times, pre-war, war times.
I would venture to say that the 12th book of the Enigma series was probably one of the best, most dynamic books, because the R group has become renegade. They've been deemed as outlaws, and they're on the run. and that one's got a lot of personal triumph and tragedies, and how do we make this work now that we're outside the law, and they've turned the whole puzzle around. So now we're the bad guys. How do we clear our name, and how do we get clear? And so that's, I would say that was that's the that book is Enigma Threat.
Yes.
And it's the second half of the AI wars, and that's where
Fabulous.
we get into yeah.
Wow.
Book 11 starts off with the AI wars,
Yes.
and the question is who won, and in book 12, it's sort of the book 11 and book 12 make a really good pair of reading. We write all the books so they're standalone, but
That's a
those
good
two
movie.
kind of yeah.
That's a good movie, the two books combined. But Charles, we are running out of time, unfortunately. I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much for being our
Madeline,
guest.
thank you for having me on, and I promise you we'll try and engineer rocks on the next call.
That would be wonderful. For 2025, please do come back, and yeah, it'd be lovely. And we can talk then part 2. Most definitely. And yeah, well, thank you very much, Charles, and see you next time, and have a wonderful Christmas.
You too. Thank you, Madeline.
All right. Bye. Well, there you go. Another successful, wonderful interview with Charles Breakfield. Absolutely phenomenal. Thank you. I must say thank you to our sponsor, Audi K Barrier, who's actually from Texas and Kentucky. Thank you to our producer today, Heather, and of course, Chief of Operations, the lovely Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. My name is Dr. Madalene Chan, and I will see you next week for the film and music show. And for now, have a wonderful weekend, rest of the weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye.
USA Global TV and Radio, in partnership with Dr. Jacqueline LLC, present Amazon #1 best-selling author, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck is a certified life, career, and executive coach who teaches people how to listen at an elevated level through her courses and her books. Dr. Kerbeck teaches her clients how to open their hearts and express themselves through their creative genius. In her children's book series, The Amazing Adventures of Lady Ella, the listening mentor, Dr. Kerbeck teaches children and their families how to listen at an elevated level. Dr. Kerbeck has worked with clients across the world to guide them in how to express themselves and communicate at a highly effective level. Join our team of elevated listeners so you can listen without judgment, without providing a solution, without interruption, and without stealing the stage. To order your books today, go to drjacqueline.com or Amazon.